This is a reading from the book titled Akita, The Tears and Message of Mary. Inside cover, a picture of a priest. Father Teiji Yasuda. Written by Father Teiji Yasuda, chaplain of the convent in Akita. This book was first published in Japanese with the imprimatur of the Bishop of Niigata. On March 14, 1989, the Most Reverend John S. Ito, retired Bishop of Niigata, who knows English and who had personally read this English translation, approved it in the following words: "I recommend this book and testify that its contents are true. Most Reverend John S. Ito, D.D. Copyright 1989 by John M. Haffert." Akita, The Tears and Message of Mary. Akita, The Tears and Message of Mary by Father Teiji Yasuda. Preface. News of tears flowing from a statue of Our Lady in a convent in Akita, Japan, spread through the entire nation following a series of articles in the publication Catholic Graph. Over a considerable time, newspapers, magazines, radio, and television have covered these events. Church authorities considered it prudent to remain quiet. It was only after 12 years of national publicity that Father Tatsuya Shimura, assistant rector of the cathedral in Tokyo, decided courageously to publish a little work entitled The Virgin Mary Weeps at Akita. French and German translations of this little work caused news of the affair to spread in the West. On Easter Sunday, 1984, 22nd of April, the Most Reverend John Ito, the bishop directly responsible, issued a pastoral letter declaring the events of Akita to be supernatural. On November 3rd of the same year, the bishop himself came to pray at the sanctuary of Yuza Wadai in Akita with a group of pilgrims. Since that time, pilgrims have come in ever greater numbers from all parts of Japan and from other nations. For 13 years, I was chaplain of the community of the Handmaids of the Eucharist in Akita, and I related the events of Akita in our monthly bulletin during the last 2 years before writing this book. It seemed to me opportune to gather the articles together in a complete work, which I hope will bring joy to those who have sustained us by their fervent prayer. I pray that it will justly and faithfully clarify the facts, so that an ever greater number may progress in an understanding of the divine mysteries they reveal. In the name of the community and all readers, I thank Bishop Kaiichi Sato, successor of Bishop Ito, who kindly approved the publication of this book without reserve. May it be for all, by the grace of the Lord, an instrument of edification and of spiritual progress. Given on the Feast of the Annunciation, March 25th, 1987, on the hill of Yuza Wadai, Akita. Signed, Father Teiji Yasuda. Prologue. As I write this, I have just spent almost 13 years in the convent at Yuza Wadai, on the outskirts of Akita, where I have been an eyewitness to the events I am about to describe. A remarkable series of coincidences brought me to this holy place. The immediate occasion for my coming was an incident which took place because of sudden bad weather. At the time, I was stationed in Tokyo and had been invited to a city in the north to speak at a catechetical session. I took advantage of the occasion to go a little farther to my native village, which I had not seen for some time. It was in February of 1974. The weather was unstable, and a snowstorm of exceptional violence paralyzed all communications for 2 days. I was held up at the village church with nothing in particular to do. A member of the parish, seeing that I was free, asked if I would like to go to say Mass at the convent of the Sisters of Yuza Wadai. She explained that because of the heavy snowstorms during these past days, no one had been able to say Mass at the convent, which was up along the hill on the outskirts of Akita. Having no reason to refuse, I willingly agreed. Towards 2 o'clock that afternoon, I took advantage of the offer of a neighbor who had a truck. The rough road which led to the convent had disappeared under a thick covering of snow. We finally made it with the help of a bulldozer, which cleared the way. The little building, which I then saw for the first time, was quite poor. I cite here the note which I published in a parish bulletin at a short time later. This winter, I had the occasion to meet a group truly living the vow of poverty. About 10 years ago, a small group of women gathered together in a house on a hill outside Akita to lead a life of prayer. Some of them later left, others remained. They did not have a priest and lived on strict necessities, having abandoned all their goods in order to consecrate themselves to God. They seemed to be the butt of constant criticism and calumny. They were reproached for not having anything other to do, and if I listened to what was being said, perhaps I might have been of the same opinion. One must not forget the truth contained in this paradox. The one who is despised becomes in reality the one who identifies most with Christ. This example suffices to teach us which one is more loved of God, the one who throws the insults or the one who receives them. These women told me of an unusual experience. They said we were ardently begging the intercession of the Holy Virgin when there appeared on a hand of her little statue, sculptured on a globe and leaning against the cross, a mark of red blood in the form of a cross. From this mark, blood flowed. It remained more than 3 weeks, accompanied by other phenomena expressing the sufferings of Mary. They then invited me to come and see the statue. I went to the chapel, said Mass there, and prayed to the Virgin Mary. I remained a moment to contemplate the statue of which the hand appeared to have bled. I felt very intensely that Mary had to suffer for the Church of Japan, even to the point of shedding blood. I left the hill carrying in my heart a profound conviction that in this place there was an urgent appeal for prayer. It was in these dispositions that I returned to my parish with the resolution to participate in some manner in the sufferings of Mary. A little later I was led to give up my position as pastor, and I at once remembered the Virgin who had shed blood. I felt an ardent desire to go there to pray. Such were the circumstances which led me to the Virgin of Yuza Wadai, and with the passage of time I cannot but recognize the hand of divine providence, watchful in everything. Since I have been chaplain here in the Yuza Wadai Akita convent, the statue of Mary has undergone several changes of appearance. It has been the subject of phenomena which natural laws cannot explain. The most remarkable of these are the tears which have flowed from both eyes, now known throughout Japan and the world. I thank God for the grace for having been formed in prayer in this place, where I hope to remain still a long time in order to make spiritual progress. I also pray that the numerous pilgrims who come in the future to pray to the Virgin of Akita will find courage and peace in this place of special grace. On March 10, 1974, I took up my place at the convent of Yuza Wadai. The first work I undertook was the examination of the messages which Sister Agnes was said to have received from Mary, and to study the mysterious events connected with the statue. I had to prepare a complete documentation. I began by extracting passages from the intimate journal of Sister Agnes, which treated the events in such a way as to reveal the underlying factors. I had my report read to the religious of the community and submitted a copy to the bishop of the diocese, Bishop Ito.